There's those. Let me quickly turn up the light a little dark. That's a little better. Oh, there it goes. I was like, oh, the camera hasn't flashed yet. I mean, I only gave it a couple of seconds, but I thought, like, hey, maybe this is the time. It is not the time. Hello, everybody. How's it going? Nathan, congrats on getting first. That is your 50th time total, and you have submitted your taxes 75 times. GG's. Hope you're doing well. Rift, welcome on in. Hope you're doing well as well. Let me get situated here. Spicy, welcome on in on the YouTube side. Swiftu, thank you for submitting gear taxes. I appreciate it. Panda, thank you. Hope you're all doing well. It's good to see you guys. I saw the mending book clip. Yes, we finally got mending. And I have a project that I have started. It's a slight mess, and you guys will see exactly what I'm talking about soon. Just I'm gonna wait for the ads to wrap up. That way you guys can see what I'm talking about. It's a mess. It is, in fact, a very big mess. Okay, we've got everything posted, I think, so we're good. Well, what do we have here? We have a loser. That's me. I'm a nerd, even. This is about to be really bad, okay? So, I was gonna release an episode this weekend, but instead of recording the episode, I waited until Saturday, 3 hours after it was supposed to come out, to start recording it. I was like, oh, it's fine. I'll just record it and post it the next day. I tried, and then it just didn't work out. It did not work out at all. So it's coming out this weekend, if I finish editing it. But I'm also still kind of recording it now because I felt like it was weird to leave it off here, especially since today we're going to fix a lot of the main issues with the episode. So I will show you guys what we got up to. King Ragnog, who is day 6 into being told that he should watch Avatar: The Last Airbender all the way through. One day. I'm gonna do it one day. Trust me. Trust me. Got some Riz tips? Be honest. That's the best Riz I can give anybody. If you're honest, then, you'll win anybody over. Anybody that's worth having. So, we went through and we kind of fixed up the cow farm. I trimmed up all the bushes, so there is no spawning spaces in here. The cows are all safe. You're safe if you walk through the cows. Let's see, what else? I named the cows over here. That is a thing for later. I set up our pathway to get into the actual build base thing. I've realized a problem though, and this is just an oversight. The entrance is over on this side and not over here. So I've got to figure out like how I'm going to handle this. I might just do some terraforming to make the pathway just slump down and catch this. I may figure out something else. I may run the whole pathway around this way instead. I haven't quite decided yet, because I do know I want something up on this hill, and I haven't really decided how I want to get up here yet. So that's like one of the big things that we've got here, is just trying to figure out what's next with the build. But I dug a lot. Believe it or not, I actually repaired this pickaxe. It was fully healed, but I've dug that much that it's busted again. So we're gonna go fishing. If you guys aren't sick of fishing yet, you will be. Hello, Nikita. Welcome on in. It's good to see you. Thank you for subscribing, Cool Colts fan. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Be honest and confident. Be yourself, and someone who likes you for who you are. If you're looking for a long-term relationship, once dating, make sure it's a partnership. They rely on you as much as you rely on them. Yes. The thing about relationships that I think a lot of people forget is like it is a partnership. It's not just I love you and you love me, so boom, everything is perfect and amazing. It's one of those things, and everybody says it's 50-50. That's also not true. There's a lot more to it than that. There's not always going to be, you're not always going to be 100%. And oh my goodness, 2 books in a row. It's one of those things. If you don't walk into it somewhat stable yourself, you're gonna accidentally drown your partner. It doesn't mean you need to be perfect, but you want to be stable enough that you're not overwhelming them with your life problems. You need to be able to cope yourself without somebody. They're an extension to your life, but they're not your entire life. King Mindnog, that's me. That's me. 55 stream streak. Holy cow, Nathan, you're insane. Thank you so much for your support, dude. I appreciate it. Avid fan over here. Hi, Rag. I hope I didn't miss some big important build at the start of the stream or something. No, you didn't miss anything, really. I was explaining, I missed the upload on Saturday, for various reasons, but none of them are really good enough, other than the fact that I just procrastinated, and that's on me. But I did start recording the episode, even though it was late, and I had a intent to upload it on Sunday. I just never finished it. So I'll go ahead and show you guys again quickly what I did, and you'll see. You'll see kind of what we're fixing today, because there's a big mess. I've made a huge mess. He built a massive castle with every farm possible inside. Oh, jeez. I could do it. It's just, like, I don't know if I want to do that. I feel like that's what the wrong king. Greg is the king of kings. I don't know if I'd go that far. But I did this over the weekend, so Saturday and partially Sunday. And I need to, basically today, we're going to try to finish clearing out all the stone. We may even try to do some of the build, but I may just save that for part of the video and instead reroute the path. And we may even plan out where the build is going up here. It's going to be a fairly large build, actually. I'm really excited about it. Because it adds a touch of lore to the world. And I've had some people ask about lore. I'm very firm in my belief when it comes to lore that it should be based around builds, and so the builds will actually have some lore to it, but not. Hey, Rajab, I appreciate you, but please don't spam. Lucas, welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. He kings his Reg until he nogs. Wilting Rose emoji. That's wild. Reg, did you see the stuff I sent since last stream? Yes, I did, Rift. I did. It was pretty sick. It's way better than I could do. So, like I said before, it's impressive. It's very impressive. I didn't see the link that you had the folder there until after I had clicked everything, but I did listen to it all. Hello from Argentina. Hello, Lucas. Welcome on in. Lightning, hello, welcome. Good to see you both. Okay. I think I told you guys everything. I don't know. I'm probably forgetting stuff. I definitely am. We got mending last time, so I'm just repairing my pickaxe really quick. We may quickly scout out all my books here, because I've got quite a lot. I've got a Silk Touch book that I'd like to kind of put on my pick. And then we also have an Unbreaking 3. Do we have an Efficiency 5 by chance? Efficiency 3? Efficiency 4. Efficiency 4. We could combine some books if we have to. I just want to kind of get an idea of what we have. Because if we could make a really good pickaxe, that would be kind of nice. I won't lie. Efficiency 3. Efficiency 4. 3. We could combine books to make a 5, but we'll see. We'll see. Glad you listened to them all. Try to save you the pain with folder. Ah, you're all good, dude. Yeah, I try to listen to them when I can. Sometimes I forget, and then I have a little bit more to listen to, but I don't mind. It's always a nice little break from doing nothing. To be honest, I do a lot of nothing, which is not good, but I'm working on it. One day I'll get through it. We'll see. Nikita, thank you for spending your taxes. I appreciate it. Panda, thank you for the alert. Good luck with the homework. Been too long, Reg. I almost forgot about the taxes. Oh no. It's okay. I forget. I forgot about the taxes. Hang on. Hold on. We gotta fix that. Boop. All right. There we go. My taxes are submitted now. We're chilling. Boop. Boop. Okay. Good. You can combine efficiency 4 to get an 5. Yeah, I could. I'm thinking about it. I might. I've got enough XP, so that's not a problem. We'll see. We will see. I'm not, like, overly concerned about getting an efficiency 5 pick yet. I may just wait. We'll see. I'll scout over my books again and see what's in there, because I may decide that I want those books that do have efficiency 4 to go on other things, because they also have, you know, I didn't look to see if it had like sharpness 5 on one of them. A sharpness 5 book is more valuable to me than a efficiency 5 book. Which sounds a little bit wild, but I find when you're trading with, like, villagers, sharpness 5, I almost can never get a sharpness 5 book from them. And I'm sure that's just, like, probably bad luck. I'm sure it's the same odds for all of them, but it is annoying and very expensive. It's very, very expensive, too. Did you notice anything different? Also, I realized in retrospect I sent 11 or 12 takes this time. Ah, you're all good. I did notice, I don't know if you changed in anything about how you were recording it, but I noticed your voice was a lot more clear, so that helped a lot. I was actually able to hear you a lot better, so I could kind of get an idea of what was you and what was Chester, which surprisingly very similar. Very, very similar. Good save. Glad I wasn't alone in trying to avoid taxes. I forget so many times, dude. The taxes, I need to like set up a button for myself so that I can just press it and it will submit my taxes, because I have a Stream Deck. I'm sure I could program a key to do it for me. I'm just lazy. I need to do stuff this month. There's a lot of things I missed last month. So this month is kind of like a reset, essentially. Oops, pressed the wrong key. Okay. Respiration 3. Cool. But I'm really behind. I don't know what's wrong. I really don't know what's wrong. Past couple of days have not been they've not been productive. I was meant to go to the doctor today, actually. For those of you who have been keeping up with all that, I've been waiting for referrals to go through so I could go see the doctors I actually need to see. And I guess they never got them. Because I called yesterday and they said, hey, we don't even know who you are. We haven't seen your name come across. How? I don't know. I don't know. So, they really love their fax machines. I don't know what it is with the medical system and fax machines, but I'm blaming that piece of technology. I'm sticking to it. So I meant to go today so that I could have my primary care send it again. But I did not do that today because I kind of forgot. And then when I remembered, I didn't want to move. So, I'm going to go Thursday because my primary care isn't in on Wednesdays. So, it's a slight delay. Very slight delay. But whatever's wrong with me, we're on the heels of fixing. Assuming there's anything wrong with me. It could just be in my head. That's a very real possibility. At this point, I don't know, man. I don't know. Gotta love a fish stream. Heck yeah, Angela. Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. We do indeed love fishing streams. Do stuff this month like Sunday streams? I mean, maybe. I really want to. I really do want to. Let's see, this Sunday we did bowling. That's why we didn't do it this time. I'll tell you what, guys. I can't believe it. I don't know. I didn't expect it to hurt that much. That was part of why I laid in bed a lot yesterday. I mean, I don't bowl a heavy ball. I don't know how many of you guys have gone bowling or gone bowling recently even. You know, I started off with a 6-pound because I just knew the repetitive movement was going to be bad for me. But I was like, hey, you know, we'll try. I ended up going up to an 8 because I wasn't getting good results and I wanted to win. So I started bowling with an 8. And I kind of swapped between the 8, a 12, an 11, and a 9. Just based on what was available to me at that very moment and what I was feeling like picking up. And bowled 5 games. I only got 1 strike. So I threw like just about 20 times per round. So it was a lot. It was a lot. But I almost won once. So that's pretty good, right? I think that's pretty good. But that wore me out. I was done. I had an episode that I was supposed to edit on Sunday as well, and that didn't happen. So I gave up. This month, I'm hoping will be better, though, yes. I think we did 9 streams in February, which isn't terrible, but compared to what we were doing, it's not good. You know, I'm used to doing a lot more. So, I want to do more. And we'll see how that happens, if it happens. if Sunday streams don't start happening soon, I don't know what I'm gonna do, because I know Saturdays there's a definite cancellation I have to do every single month. So I don't want to promise a Saturday stream and still end up canceling a lot. And then, you know, I don't, Sundays I should be able to do. But for whatever reason, my energy just dips. Which I've been actually pattern tracking, which has been really fun. We've got, what is it? There's something I was going to say about that, and I forgot what I was going to talking about. We were talking about Sunday streams. Oh, the patterns, right. So I've been pattern tracking. Week 1 is usually like a pretty good week for the month. You know, I'm starting to go up. I'm not doing that, Oddly Fox. But welcome on in, hope you're doing well. So week 1, it starts at like, okay, we work a couple of hours. Week 2, it's a blowout week. I work like 28 hours. One of those days I work like 8 hours straight, no problems. Week 3, I fall off the face of the earth. And week 4 isn't much better. And I don't know what's with that. But, you know what? I really can't complain too much because I'm still alive. And I'm not dying, as far as I know. I need to add that disclaimer there. As far as I know, I'm not. Why did I feel the need to add that? I don't know, actually. I'm pretty sure I'm not dying. Last I checked. That can go elsewhere. Let's go ahead and do... Go ahead and take the Silk Touch. And let's take the Unbreaking 3 book here. And then are we going to... Where is it? This one. We have Efficiency 4, Fire Prot 3. Okay, that one we can take. Do we have any more Efficiency 4s? Boop. Oh, right there. Okay. Sweet. We could put all this on the pickaxe and we'll be set. That's good. Boop. 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 Okay. Duke. Kaon, welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. Hello, hello. Hope you're doing good. I said the same thing twice, but slightly differently. My bad. Medical records is fun. Definitely never had any issues with that before. Never. Never. It's been an ongoing problem. We tried a referral once back in like November. Never heard anything about it. So we went back in January, at the end of January, and we sent another referral. Still haven't heard about it. So when I called and they said they've never had a referral for me in the system, needless to say, I'm a little upsetty spaghetti. But I'm gonna give them grace, even if they don't deserve it. They're getting a little bit. Keon, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I don't know, Nathan's. That's asking for a lot. No one does Sunday streams these days. I really miss seeing people stream. I feel like I miss so many streams now. Mason, a little strange how similar our voices are, but in the second half of the first 5 takes, I came to a sad conclusion that with audio physics, I had to move away from the speakers. So essentially moved my phone and made the same distance from the speakers, but kept the same distance as me and the phone. Did some acoustic testing. Okay. I see, I see. That would make sense. That would make sense. It gives you a better mix. That's for sure. Audio physics. I need to actually brush up on that a little bit because I need to create a sound engine for my video game because I want realistic sound physics, and most game engines don't have ray traced sound, which I think is the future. We should honestly have ray traced sound. If you guys haven't seen it, look it up. It's a really cool concept. I'm sorry. Almost isn't winning. That's true. You're not wrong. Sounds fun though. You're just keeping the peace with not straight up winning all the games. Such a king. Exactly. Exactly. We can go with that. We can go with that. Why don't you go back to a 3 weekday streams? The problem I have with that right now is jobs. I have a couple of outstanding applications, and I would hate to swap to a schedule and then swap back to this one. Because there's just no feasible way if I do get this job that I can do 3 weekday streams. It'd be pushing it to do the 2 I already do. I have more subs than you. That's a pretty shallow metric. But hello, Matthew. Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. I just want to make sure I'm caught up here. Speaking of books you caught mending, and I wasn't even here to see it. I know. I'm sorry, Nikita. It was awesome though. We caught it, and I broke my camera because of it. But we did get the book, so that's pretty good. I was there since like I may have been the only one. Of course you were. You don't sleep. Take my follow, but right now I gotta go low key. Just checked you out. Didn't know you streamed. No worries, Keon. Appreciate you popping in. A lot of people don't know I stream. I don't talk about it very often. But I appreciate you following and checking me out. Thank you so much. Let's see. I think we're caught up. Okay. Let's go ahead and finish repairing the pickaxe, and then we'll put the books together. We can go ahead and do the 5s here, or the 4s. Okay. And then, we could technically do that. I don't want to do this yet because it'll add more durability that we have to put on it. So we're gonna wait just a little bit, and then we'll be good. Once this is fully repaired, we'll put the Unbreaking 3 on it. It'll be good. It'll be chilling. Amy, thank you for spending your taxes. I appreciate it. There he is, King Pragnog. Hello, Mumbo. Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. Hello, hello. My issue is I can continue to use my regular setup, but I need to get as loud as, maybe louder than Chester for my phone to pick up my voice as clearly as I did in the new setup. Also, in the new setup, those takes were with a much more tired voice on top of the need of rest day. Imagine how it'll sound when I was fresh as I was in the first 5 takes. That's fair. I also saw the message you sent about the caloric intake after that, which I don't doubt because I don't know if that's a common thing. I get really hungry after like actually singing, properly singing. I just it's energy burning, I guess. I mean, you can if you get into it, especially, I suppose. I don't know who that is. I'm sorry. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I read your name and thought, oh, Yanaka fan? Then I realized it's probably Keon. Oh. I don't know who that is, but they might be. They very well could be. Who knows? I'll never submit my taxes again. You are working out in a way that the diaphragm is the muscle. This is true. This is very true. Tax evasion is a crime. Whoa, that's actually kind of a good bow. Alright. Welcome on in, Raiders. Emerald Ace. How are you doing? It's good to see you again. What were you guys up to? Maybe... I saw a lot of people were playing Pokemon lately. Was it by chance Pokemon Day, or was it some more Minecraft, or anything? It could be anything, even, I suppose. So you do play quite a lot of other games. But it's good to see you. Welcome on in, Raiders. Hello, hello. We are just playing on my Minecraft Forever world today. We're fishing, and we will be digging. I created a really big mess over here, and so we're gonna actually clean that all up today, and hopefully it'll be a good time. We'll see. But if any of you need to pop out, ready to run, do the post-stream things, please feel free to do so. It's all right, but I appreciate the raid nonetheless. Hopefully it was a good time. I need to pay taxes as a true friend of King for 4 years now. I am exempt. Tax exemption is crazy. Bro became a not-for-profit. I'm still eating the consequences for what I pulled, but it's also because of a medical condition. That essentially means my energy is only getting lower with each day, hence why I did the 1 month anniversary performance when I did. Unintended. Okay, I see. I don't know. There's a similar thing going on for me. It's probably not the same exact thing, but I can definitely relate about energy getting lower every day. It's a thing. It's a thing. I was there for the final days of King SMP Season 1. Oh, ow. Okay. I missed the chair arm. Well, here in chat, at least that's fair. King SMP Season 1 was a long time ago. King SMP in general was a long time ago. I want to bring it back. I do. I don't think anybody doubts that. I just feel the need to say that because I feel like some people probably might doubt that I want it back. King SMP was a good time, and I do miss it. Mine is hormonal and dive bombs rapid. I see. I don't think that's the same thing that I've got. I'd be surprised. I mean, I haven't had that all checked, but the guess. It's my guess anyway. For me, I mean, I'll talk about it, I guess. Last night was probably the worst it's been. Admiral actually got a good glimpse of it. I was gonna get up and go grab something to eat, because I was like, you know, I'm feeling pretty, almost spacey, I guess. And I couldn't work on anything. So I stood up to go grab something, except I didn't ever stand up fully. I just kind of like crouched out of my chair, and I lost all willpower to stand up all the way. And so I kind of just kneeled onto the ground and then laid there. It was a little dramatic, probably. Thank you for the Lord Honey Bun. I appreciate it. Enjoy your stream. Enjoy your stream. Thank you so much. It was a little dramatic, though. I laid there on my side, and then I rolled over onto my back and just stared up. It was kind of like on Instagram, you know, the epic bleed out spots where people are pretending they're bleeding out. That's kind of what it felt like, except I was actually just that heavy. And then I rolled over onto my right side and pulled myself up towards the bed. My arms were fine, for the most part. My legs, on the other hand, they were just not it. I could feel the blood rushing through them. But but I didn't have like strength in them really. And so I just laid there for probably about 20 minutes. And then I eventually got up. And then I ate a lot. I mean, I went downstairs, I ate... Let's see, I ate a slice of pizza. Like one of the square ones. And then I ate... probably too many potato chips, but the sodium was like what I really felt like I needed. And then I ate a lot of ice cream. I drank a glass of milk. And then I drank 2 cups of water. Like I made sure I had some nutrition in there. It was it's definitely not that, because today it was still pretty bad. I didn't want to get out of bed. I had a hard time getting out of bed. Where are you? Ow. Energy getting low. The chance of Prince Ragnog is getting lower by the day. Dang. That's mildly depressing. Bring it back. I need a decent SMP to play on. What? Did you just... I think I'm hearing things. Okay. What was I saying? Oh yeah, SMP. King SMP's biggest issue is, in order for me to bring it back the way I want to bring it back, I'm going to need to front a lot of money at it. Which is partially why getting a job is like actually a really good idea here. Because I can throw a lot more money at something with that kind of funding. Otherwise, you know, at the current rate I'm getting paid, I'll see you guys in about... I'd probably have enough money in about 4 years for King SMP. Which is fine. I'm not expecting to make like a bunch of money anytime soon, to be honest. I'm content with paying for it out of pocket, especially the fact that King SMP's server costs of just running the server myself, it'll actually run a lot of other things. We'll run some backups off of it. We'll run I'll actually have a lot of things on that host. It'll be cool. Trust me. I've got some fun plans. We're gonna have a whole server network. I'd like to try, anyway, to build up a cool minigame network. But I'm struggling with the marketing side of that, because in order to get people to even play it, you need to have an already existing player base. Or you need a way that you can play the mini games without people playing and have like NPCs or something like that. I might have an idea. That's as much as I can say. Because I don't know if it would work, and I don't want to get people's hopes up on that. Funny thing is, I do feel that, except only in bed. Usually doesn't affect me for the recent events, but still interesting. That's very interesting, yeah. Yeah, mine I need to go to the doctor for, and just see if she can do anything about it, but I'm not gonna hold my breath on it. It's been a slow process of reaching this point physically, but also medically, the system is just so slow. You chase your tail for a whole year and still come up with nothing, and it's kind of like, you know, I've got a couple of ideas of what it could be. But there's not a lot that I can do until I can get the tests that prove that you have that stuff. And I can't push that along any more than I already have. So, we'll see. We will see. Square pizza, what is the world coming to? That's like half of US school pizza. Half the cheap pizzas you can buy at the grocery stores. This was, they bought like these really, really big pizzas, and if you want the most bang for your buck, you buy the square ones, because they square, I guess, probably footage. It probably ends up coming out to square footage at that point. I don't know. Actually comes out to being cheaper to buy the square ones if you're doing an economic option there. But I prefer triangular pizza personally. Admiral, thank you for spending your taxes. I appreciate it. Admiral helped pay for it. Oh, Admiral. I don't think he would. The myth himself. Do not ask how that typo happened. No one gets my money. That's... I don't blame you. No one gets my money either half the time. I try not to give my money away. I think mine is utter laziness, ADHD, mental and physical burnout, or all the above. That's fair. I don't know, I've tried to call myself lazy, but the description just doesn't fit. Like, observationally speaking, I could see how somebody would say it looks lazy. But it's not that I don't want to, it's that I can't, I guess. And can't is a strong word. I probably could, but the exertional force that it takes to do much of anything makes it hard to justify moving sometimes. Like I said, Admiral saw me. I was on the floor for like 20 minutes yesterday. Just doing nothing. And that was due to leg weakness, so I would hedge a bet on that one. There have been times where I have had to rush out of bed, so like I can get up, but it was questionable at best when I got up. Somebody had fallen in my house, and I barely woke up and heard them, and I heard them yell for help, so I managed to get up, but I just about fell like 3 times going down the stairs. It was something. It was something. Stop buying Robux and V-Bucks and help a brother out. King is one chiropractic adjustment from turning into a Gmod ragdoll. Square ones are just cheaper for so much more toppings and surface area. Agreed. Someone doesn't like to share. You're not lazy, King. You are depressed. That could be possible. I won't deny that. I won't deny it. I do want to get it tested if that's a possibility, but I've heard so many other things about it, so I'm not gonna put a label on it exactly until I know for certain from a medical professional, but they just don't want my money. I don't know what's with them, but they will not take me into the office. Sharing is caring. I consider myself lazy. I tend to not do enough, never more, unless there's a good reason to do the extra. That's fair. I mean, I can relate to that to an extent. But a lot of that comes out of the suspected ADHD for me. It takes a lot to meet deadlines, and deadlines are only a novel enough idea for some of the time. So like up until this weekend, last weekend, I guess, I had been doing fine with my deadlines, but once I got behind a little bit, like the whole plan fell apart. Because I couldn't just rely on finishing things by deadlines, because suddenly everything started shifting behind and I've not gotten any of it done. And then some of it is my learning style is just, it's trash. Learning how to make games is hard, guys. I have decided to revisit the drawing board on how we're building Omnia because I don't know what I'm doing. One of these times we're gonna figure it out, though. Eventually. Only thing I was missing was some beer bottles and emo music. Yeah, some Alice in Chains. It'd be great. I'm officially diagnosed with mild depression, but I personally don't think it's enough to consider me not lazy. That's fair. And I will say, briefly, when I shift blame, quote unquote blame, to physical conditions and stuff, that's not me trying to excuse it. I think I say this a lot, and it's probably misunderstood. I don't want to excuse anything I do. I want to just give it a reason so that it's more understandable. But I don't expect people to accept that as, like, as a good enough reason. You know, ideally in a perfect world, I would do everything that I say I'm going to do. I'm at the point where it's starting to go, you know, maybe I should stop promising things and then just surprise you guys, because at this point, the promises ain't happening. I owe you guys a lot. I do. And that's what this month is about. It's about trying to finish those promises so that I can kind of, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? There's a lot of things that I carried over from last year into this year that I really don't want to carry over. You know, I still owe you guys a 12-hour stream. I still owe you guys King SMP Season 3 stuff, which is just about done. Like, I am actually physically right now wearing the merch for that that video that will release at some point. I just have to write and edit the video. It's not that hard. But when you stack on that, I'm not doing the Forever World videos like I'm supposed to. And I'm not doing the creative series video like I said I wanted to. And Omnia is in shambles at best. I broke it again, by the way, guys. I broke Omnia. It's okay. I'll fix it. Trust, guys, trust. But all those things combined, it makes it really difficult. Just got upstairs hanging there, Reg. Oh no. Good luck, Nikita. I know whenever you go upstairs, the internet has some fun. Miles, welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. Hello. Learning game design is hard. Lots of small things and even big picture things you don't know about until it hits you with the lack of experience. Yup. Tunnel vision, the biggest enemy for a game dev. For me, it's actually probably feature creep. But that's almost intentional. Omnia was designed with the idea of being feature creep, essentially. I know a lot of people, especially lately, have realized how possible this is. But I've always had the idea of something like this until I saw Ready Player One and found out it's pretty much exactly Ready Player One, except just a little bit more sci-fi rather than, you know, dystopian. Although there are some dystopian elements to the game. But a game where you can essentially do anything. You know, it's a very large scale game that has endless opportunities. The trouble with that is anytime you think of a good idea, you can't tell yourself no. Because how do you tell yourself no when the whole purpose of the game is to be everything? You can't. You can't tell yourself no. Which isn't a good... It isn't a good, I guess it's not a bad thing. But when you're looking at the big picture of Omnia, you never actually can finish the game. Which is fine. I don't want to finish the game. I want to always add new things and always expand the depth of everything. But it makes it really hard to see any progress being made when you're looking at 1,000 systems to build and you haven't even finished one. Because now you're going, okay, I don't even have a percentile done here. It's your progress is meaningful in the grand scheme of things because starting is the hardest part, but you don't get a lot of wins necessarily. You're just ever so slowly stacking progress on progress on progress until eventually you might have 1% done. You might, and that's the trouble. Is that, and also, if you don't finish something quick enough, you get bored of it. Or at least I do. I get bored of features if I don't complete them in a fast enough time span. So I have to kind of speed run it, and then I can go through and I can bug fix it as needed. But actually adding the feature itself, I only have so much patience for myself. Remember me? I recognize your name, Miles. I couldn't tell you exactly when, but I do recognize your name. It's good to see you, though. Don't think I ever mentioned it, but I finally got into the school I've been talking about, meaning I'll be moving next year. Hey, dude, that's awesome. Congrats. That is amazing. Tunnel vision is a broad description here because feature creep falls under tunnel vision. That's true. I can do planning. That's for sure. And that's where I really get tunnel vision, is when it comes to planning. Implementation is always the hard part. I need to learn a lot more about code. Because it's just a slow process. I'm a good gameplay director. I'm not so good at system design or really any sort of design outside of oh my goodness, there are always so many of those guys. All right, let's kill him. That reminds me of the fact that we have counted 0% of the numbers, because numbers are infinite. So we can never count even 1%. This is true. This is very true. Ow. Ow. There we go. Okay. I'm not too sure I get it sometimes. I don't get it ever. I'm a very dense, I'm very dense. I don't even understand myself anymore, to be entirely honest. The more I think I understand, the less I do. You know, the depth that you think that you are is not the depth that you actually are. It's just depth that you know. But the more you know, the less it feels that you actually know, and that might like make zero sense, or it might sound super philosophical. I don't know which one, but that's how it feels to live in your own head. If you gave AI the plans for Omnia, it likely couldn't code it all in one lifetime. Probably not. I find that AI doesn't. It doesn't even come close when it tries to build anything for Omnia. I have messed around with it a little bit just to see if it would help. But the problem is every system is so in-depth and AI gets lazy. It gets so incredibly lazy. I would never use it for assets before anybody like gets mad at me and says, you need to pay an artist. I know. Code is a little different. And I was still debugging it. But it doesn't get very in-depth. It spits out something and it says, this is good enough. And it's like, no, I want you to do this. And when it tries to fix the code, it breaks things all the time. And I don't know if I just don't know how to use AI or if it's something else entirely. I don't know. But I've always wanted to build it myself anyway, so it kind of works out that I can't take the shortcut. It helps me anyway. Because I have no choice but to do it the hard way. So we'll see how this goes. It's gonna be... I need to basically do what AI was doing in a sense. Build the smallest version of it possible and slowly expand upon it. But I'll have a lot more control over it as I learn things because I understand more. So I could build it, the first version, with a more complex basis so that it eventually can become what it needs to be and not completely rewrite it every time I want to add something because it was never designed that way. That's kind of the problem I run into with AI. It wants to reiterate everything instead of build something new. There we go. From my own experience, I know it's very different from decked out and actual code, but from what I've found so far, learning the basic implementation of everything and placing them before you go full scale, before you full scale it from a vague enough big picture plan, doing this process in sections is the best way I found for the flow process. Then fleshing out the minor details as you go, learning new things, or just when it comes to more complete look. AI is good at explaining theory, not so much the implementation of complex things. Yep. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm going with it, I think, is will more than likely do, will more than likely end up going with a very basic implementation early on. It's not going to be beautiful. It's not going to be very complicated, but it'll have the basis there that I have the ability to go complicated with it as we move along. You know, one of the things I really want to do with Omnia is I want you to be able to, like, anything that you would expect to be able to be done in real life could be done in the game, essentially. So, for example, you have a vehicle of some sort. I want the player to be able to actually work on it like it were a real machine. So, the engine, for example, is its own separate piece to the tires, the axles, the motors. You know, it has access to a drive shaft, and all of this comes together. The wiring is a different piece to everything. You know, it's all its own unique thing. But you can't just add that without first having a vehicle in the first place, you know? So then you gotta... it's a very long process, the plans I have for vehicles. Please make sure when you make Omnia updates, write the bug fixes in full. Make it like The Sims. Oh, bet. We can make that happen. It'll be fun. But I find that when you think about the actual system design of that, it seems so big. Because you're going, okay, so I need to code in a interaction system so that you can interact with your vehicle and open the trunk. And in the trunk, it has the engine, and on the engine, it has every individual screw and every individual wire. Like, that sounds like a nightmare when you think about how complex it is. But if you look at it in the bite-sized pieces, it's not terrible, especially if you just look at it update by update and say, okay, update 1 is just about having a working vehicle. Update 2 is about customization, so the vehicle now can be a different color, and you can change the interior options or something. Update 3 is when you can start swapping out parts. Maybe not swapping out literal, like, individual pieces like the wires and such, but you can swap between, you know, a 6-cylinder and an 8-cylinder vehicle, or engine, sorry. Or you can swap between 2-wheel and 4-wheel drive. And then, you know, the next one after that, okay, well, now you can actually tweak it so that it's even more optimized. And, you know, you could go deeper and deeper and deeper until you eventually reach the bottom, and it's kind of like, this is no longer fun. My time is best spent elsewhere. And then you just restart that process, finding another spot. I haven't quite decided the full idea of how we're going to do that. I just had the idea while I was playing Tank Mechanics Simulator, and I was like, wouldn't it be cool to do this, but with, like, spaceships? So then I was like, yeah, we're gonna put it into Omnia. So, it'll be fun. We'll see. We'll see how that ends up actually happening. Jams, welcome on in. Thank you for spending your taxes. I appreciate it. We are currently digging. I made a huge mess over here. We're kind of working on the entrance to the build, and it's kind of really bright. Let me just turn off shaders for a minute so you guys can actually see. So we're just kind of working on this entrance here, figuring out where the path is gonna go. I'm kind of the mind I may actually make this path. I don't know. I'm trying to think. So, by the way, I'm using Voxy. I don't know if I've ever said that. So I'm kind of thinking right here on this mountain, we're gonna be doing a pretty big build. It's not gonna be like a massive build or anything, but it's gonna be a pretty decently sized build. And then over there, we're gonna start our next town. So I'm just trying to think, how do you get over there? It would make a lot of sense to do like a road of some sort that kind of comes around the river bend maybe, and eventually reaches this village down here. Maybe. Although I don't know if I'm going to keep this village here. I might actually just move it up onto the mountainside alongside that thing, which is going to be a whole nightmare in and of itself. We'll see. I'm gonna think on that for a little bit. The big thing I'm seeing right now is I just need to figure out this path and decide how it's going to connect up here. I could just continue this up, theoretically, all the way up until it reaches the top and then just smooth it out. That would fix that there. And then we could do... Because I know up on this mountain I'm going to need something, so we could do another stairway up here. And that wouldn't ruin anything over on this side, I don't think. So that's what we'll do. That's what we'll do. Boop. Okay, Radiohead, welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. Adding engineering to Omnia is going to be a process. It is. It really is. But it'll be fun. I know for, like, ship building, I don't think I've ever talked about this. I'm kind of imagining, so, like, you build the interior of the ship. So, think kind of like Sims-style building, maybe. It'll kind of have, like, a blueprint look to the menu. So you can actually design a whole ship, a whole capital vessel even. And then you can kind of design the exterior around that so that it can be aerodynamic and all that kind of stuff. It's not going to be voxel-based where you're placing actual blocks on it. Except I might add a system that you could do that. I don't know, but it's a possibility. We'll see. I don't want to, like, promise anything until I know for certain on some of this stuff, because a lot of it is just abstract idea, and I don't know how hard the implementation is yet. It's either less fun or you actually complete it. Yep. Exactly. Fix your mom randomly blowing up on your planet. Added pair. The duality of man. It'll be great. It's actually gonna be fun writing the logs for Omnia, because I'm sure there's gonna be a ton of weird bugs. Just random things that did not work the way they were intended to work. Do not often you see a geode that high up. Oh, that one? Yeah. Yeah, I actually have a few geodes over here, I believe. There's one right there. I think there's another one. Is it in here? That's tough. There's one nearby. But it's like there's pretty much two geodes right next to each other, which is kind of cool. I used to play Car Mechanic Simulator, never tried the tank one. I've been meaning to try, I think I have another mechanic simulator. I don't think I've gotten to use that one yet. Hang on. Plane Mechanic Sim. I have that one. I've been meaning to try that one at some point as well. I've never done Car Mechanic, but I do want to do that one as well, because I've heard that it's pretty good. Did you get the camera working? It's still flickering. I haven't really had much time to work on it since last time, but it's on the to-do list. I shouldn't say I've not had much time. I've not had much energy. That's the real issue there. Similar to how Soup Group in Season 9 did with Tango. Seems like it would fit well like a trail. Maybe? I don't know. I didn't really watch Season 9, but based on what you said, it sounds like something that would work. Okay, I'm kind of thinking... I haven't decided how I want to do this. Anyone here ever play Tabs? I played a couple of times back when it was still in beta. It was a pretty cool game. I had a hefty back surgery. I'm in recovery. Been too tired to hop in. No worries, dude. It's good to see you. Hopefully the surgery went well. Yeah, let's... You know what? It wouldn't really make sense for it to just stop here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have it keep going up. It'll just be a straight shot. It'll be like that. Okay, and then we'll take these. Underground garage is okay. Still early days though. Got that on early access a while back. Like Car Mechanic, but you get to drive and race. That's awesome. I may have to look into that one then. I know a lot of Omnia is just gonna kind of be research, looking at other games, seeing what they do well, what they don't do well, and then mimicking the stuff that I like and then tweaking the stuff I don't like, essentially. You know, one game that I like the idea of, but I don't personally love the execution on a lot of what they've done, was like Ark, for example. Ark Survival Evolved, the dinosaur game. Really cool game idea. Really do like what they dreamed of and the fact that they built something even. It's a very big game. It's really cool. The problem I have with it is a very... It's very grindy. And I don't want to make a very grindy survival game. I want it to be... I don't want to say it's like overtly peaceful. But it's not as brutal. It's a little more forgiving, I would say. You know, it's not one of those games where if you take your eyes off your dinosaurs for 2 minutes, they all die because some bigger dinosaur decided to kill them all. Not speaking from experience, could never be me. Ark was a good game, though. It just... Some very small issues that I had there that made it not fun. And I don't really like the base building aspect. Minecraft base building is supreme. But for the idea that I have for Omnia, it would take it wouldn't feel... You wouldn't be able to build the bases I'm imagining you needing to be able to build. So I'm going with a more... kind of... a different system entirely. I don't even know what to call it. I wouldn't know what to compare it to. We need to empty my inventory. Reg, just thought about this. How is it hearing my screams more clearly in the takes from Sunday? It was actually really good. The screams came out very nice. I couldn't tell you which ones were Sunday. I just know all the screams I did hear were just fine. They're better than the ones I can do. I know that for certain. You've got some talent, and I know you've been practicing, so that makes it like even more earned, I would say. You've been working at it, which is awesome. Coral, thank you for submitting your taxes. I appreciate it. Hello, hello. Okay, let's go back down here and sleep. Can't believe the amount of people that still believe dinosaurs existed. It's all a myth and government propaganda. You know, I wouldn't doubt that. I wouldn't doubt that if that was an actual thing. I don't know what they would gain from it other than just making you believe stuff, and, you know, the amount of things the government has lied about just to get us to believe them blindly is concerning. Like, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I've just seen an overwhelming amount of evidence that has persuaded me to understand the people at the top are liars. And, you know, that's just something we live with. And it's considered normal. Which is mildly concerning. Do I have a shovel? I don't. Okay, we need to go get one. Boop. Dirt. Bag. Boo. Grass. Will Omnia have, like, research trees? Sort of? Not in your traditional sense where it's like, you unlock new technology as you play. It's kind of more in the line of Minecraft, I would say, where you play once and you learn how it works, and oops. You learn how it works and what you need in order to make things. So, for example, like in Minecraft, you don't technically unlock a crafting recipe until you pick up the items required to craft it. But instinctively, we all know how to craft a crafting table. You know, we don't need the game to tell us. But the game will kind of hold your hand in that sense as you unlock new things. But you could technically do it without it. You just would have to actually do it. So, like, there will be missions occasionally where there's a technology that you've not run into yet that they'll teach you how to make there. But you could be the first one to make it in the galaxy if you just don't go do that mission and you do it without it. So, for example, one that I'll go ahead and spoil right now, there will be a mission that you can do that involves cloning. And you can go there and learn how to do cloning. But if you started a new save, you could just do cloning without that. You would just have to do the process as if without having learned it from somebody else. You'd have to like figure it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But there will be all sorts of things like that. The big one is the reason we actually have missions like that. This is where it gets kind of interesting. Is it kind of becomes the way we're introducing updates as well. So in a normal save file, for example, aliens. I want aliens to come into the game at some point in time, but I want to introduce them correctly. So they may not be in at launch, but they'll be in at some point. So when they do eventually come in, there will be a game event. So it reads when you made your save file. And if it was made before the alien update, then it adds this event where aliens show up and humans first discover aliens. But if they hadn't discovered, or if you start save file after that, then aliens are already integrated into the galaxy, and it's a normal part of life, which is it's gonna be interesting building that logic, because after a while, if somebody like misses an entire 3 years of updates, it's not just gonna be like one small event. It's gonna be like 12 events being thrown around, and everything is gonna be so wildly different. But that's kind of how it is in real life, I suppose, is we have these life-altering years sometimes. Like, for example, 2020. So many things happened that year for a lot of people. So it would kind of echo that a little bit, even unintentionally. Which is kind of exciting, I think. But there we go. I want this, and I want some of that. Having Silk Touch is so nice, guys. I am so happy. You are nice. Thank you, Triple. I appreciate it. I try to be nice. Sometimes I mess up and I say things I don't mean, but I do try to be nice. Do we have a release? Hang on, I need to read. I'd say it's a pleasure to see you, but I don't tell lies. Dang. Out of all the things the government came up with, dinosaurs are sure the coolest, though. I was rage baiting. No one was hungry. Talent is a word I still don't know how to feel about, other than confusing, because I don't know the true correct use of that word. Now, practice that I can accept hearing. That's fair. It's not like natural talent, I would say. You know, you had to work there. For example, like, a lot of people say I'm very talented when it comes to, like, guitar, for example. I was not naturally just good at music. Now, my natural capacity for being good at guitar was there, but I did have to work at it for a long time before I ever became what people would say was talented, you know? I was a quick learner, though, to an extent, at least at that spot. Release year or decade for Omnia? Ideally, next... I want to have an alpha version of the game ready by the end of this year. And when I say alpha, I mean, like, very, very minimal version of the game. And it'll come with alpha scaled pricing, so every update that we do to the game will slowly rise the price up until it's at a full release, where it'll probably sit at... I'm trying to debate on this a little bit. It could be between $40 to $60. It just kind of depends on where the economy is at that point, and if I really do feel strongly about Omnia. But people who buy early get the game at, you know, $5 versus because it's a $5 game. You know, that's my theory when I look at it. There may not be an alpha version of the game out that early, though. If you guys do !Omnia in the chat, it'll actually post a link to the Discord. So if you have Discord and you want to keep up with game news, that's kind of where I post it. I'm actually going to have an announcement probably within the next week because I'm changing up my plans again. I had some ideas for Omnia. I was going to try to do a quarterly demo, but then I realized I don't know what I'm doing. And that was ambitious already, but now it's kind of impossible. So we're going to swap over and try something else. I'll talk more in depth on that when I actually have the plan written out. Humans killed all the dinosaurs and turned them into nuggets. I like that theory better. For you just rage baiting yourself at this point. At least they're yummy. To say get people hungry. What sauce though? Ketchup? I like barbecue. I love barbecue. I don't like condiments. Oh, that's fair. Are you nice? I try to be. Nuggets are a bit dry without sauce. Just have water in them with them. If I get the alpha for cheaper, do I get to keep it? Yep. Yep. I'm planning on releasing on Steam. So when you buy early access, you keep it. I'm not gonna like scam you guys and make you buy it several times or anything like that. Like, even if I had to rebuild it in a whole different engine because I decided that it would be a better game for that, I wouldn't say, oh, this is, you know, Omnia, Godot versus Omnia Unity, you know. It would never come to that. It would just be one version, one price, and you get it all. I'm not interested in, like, don't get me wrong, I want to make money. But I'm not necessarily interested in bleeding people dry of their money. You know, I just want to make a good game. I don't want to make a ton of games. This is like the one game I'm making. Unless I just think of a really good idea after Omnia, I'm not really intending on doing anything else after that. This has been like an idea in the back of my head since I was 8 years old. I'm 21 now. I'll be 22 this year, so it's about time, you know? It's about time to actually do something. Okay. This is looking good. Okay. We'll put those away. Poor Sturt's in here. We don't want that in there. Put it in here. Anything with mossy cobble? Okay. Famous last words goes and makes Omnia 2 or some equivalent. I had somebody suggest me doing Omnia 2D and Omnia 3D, which was an interesting idea. And I'm not entirely fully against that, only because a 2D version of the game would be infinitely easier to make. It would be like Omnia Light, essentially. But I only have one game that I want to make. That's the truth. I really don't, unless something changes while I work on Omnia, I just don't really enjoy making games. I just know nobody's going to make a game the way I want this to be made, so I have to be the one to make it. So, you know, I'm not gonna say it's impossible that I ever make another game. I'm just really weary to say there will ever be another Omnia. I've thought of like some smaller concepts than Omnia, but I feel like they just fit fine going right into Omnia. You know, the whole thing about it being an infinite Expanse is I could technically just make a modded version of the game and let you guys download that for free. Like I don't want to make a bunch of money off of people. Like, do I want to make money? Sure, everybody wants to make money, but I'm more focused on just making a really cool game. How much do I think the alpha will cost? It just kind of depends on the percentage I feel like it's complete. So I'm planning on scaling the price. So if I feel like the alpha is 10% of the full game, then the price will only be 10% of the full price. So in the case of it being a $60 full price game, we'll just say that, then 10% of that is $6. So if it was a 10% alpha, then it's a $6 game. You know, by the time beta comes around, it's probably 75% by the time the last beta rolls around, I would say. And of course, there'll still be sales and such. I would still do Steam sales because, again, the point isn't to make a bunch of money. It's to make a good game. I don't know. I struggle with pricing it because technically speaking, it could be a $100 game and probably be worth it if everything goes the way I want it to. But that's a huge if, you know? It's a very, very huge if, and I don't feel comfortable saying, oh yeah, it's gonna be $100 because it's an indie game. EA can get away with that. I can't. I'm not gonna charge people $100 for a video game. It's just not, I don't have it in me. Okay, what are we doing here? There is one game I've thought about making, because I do get very into storytelling, and it would be after Omnia's at a point where I'm like pretty happy with it, because I don't want to spend more time on things that I'm not wanting to do. But there's a couple of games that I'd really be interested in making, and one would be a lot more limited in what it is, but like Dispatch, I've seen so many clips of it. It looks like a great game. I need to play it at some point. But I want to make like a Dispatch styled game where, you know, your choices actually matter. That's kind of one of Omnia's cool things about it, is that your choices do matter, but it's also that it's like, I guess, I want to make a more linear game at some point in time. Omnia is very, very open-ended. There's a lot of backstory and lore to it that I get to write, but players don't necessarily get to live to a full extent except from a few missions that I want to do. So this other game would be kind of interesting in that sense. When will the Steam page go live so I can wishlist it? It was gonna go live this month if all went to plan, but because I'm shifting the idea around a little bit, I'm gonna delay that just until I have a better grip on what we're doing. Because I don't know how to make a video game, and every time I start, I need to figure some things out again. So I'm kind of building a game plan behind the scenes, essentially to teach myself how to make a game while making Omnia. So I've been looking over, you know, the entire systems, and I've been breaking it down into pieces. So, for example, the very basis of your character is movement. So how does the player move around in the world? Let's build that first. Let's make that fun. So I need to learn how to make a player controller. I need to learn how to make a player manager where the inventory is stored, where the uh, uh, stats are stored, and all that. The public opinion is stored, um, where ownership of objects are tied to it. I need to learn how to build a world. So, uh, making it so that players can interact with things like trees and items on the ground and things like that, and slowly building it up one by one by one. But the plan would be, as soon as I have a general idea of when the alpha might come out, I'd like to have the page open as soon as that's kind of at an idea, so I can start marketing it for you guys. Because wish lists actually are the biggest metric for success on a Steam game. If you guys didn't know, I'll actually pull this up because it's very interesting to me. Where is it? How to market a game. This is like a really cool website for anyone who wants to make a game. Check out this website sometime. It's like the gold standard, essentially. So if you have around 7,000 wish lists on your Steam page before it comes out, you're estimated to probably make $1 million or more on your game. I don't know how they come into this number system, but that's kind of what they have estimated it to. And I think that's within 1 to 2 years of your game launching, but I don't know that to be I don't know how they did this, and I don't have time to look. And they even have numbers in here like how many wish lists do you earn per week, or how many are deleted, and how long people play your demo. For example, a $1 million game, the demo is on average played for 65 minutes. If you're in the next fest, the Steam Next Fest, then getting 10,000 wish lists is to be expected if you're a $1 million game. They also have other things in here like 250,000 to 999,000, or 10,000 to 250,000, or 0 to 10,000. You know, it's very interesting seeing this here, and I don't know what their prices were estimated to. Because I'm looking here and I'm realizing in order to estimate the money there, you'd have to estimate how much the game is worth. And I'm not seeing a whole lot there, in all honesty. You have a lore Bible for Omnia? I have a game design document. It's not quite a lore Bible. I'm going to be working on that at some point, but I wanted to get some mechanics under me first. So I've got things like... Is this the game design document? It is. Okay. So I've got the very core of it, which is... I mean, I could read you some of this. Let's read. Okay, I'll read this. So in the pillars, the vision and philosophy, the design pillars, I have one of them. One of the pillars is fun. So this is what it says. Just like any game dating back to hide and seek, tag, and hopscotch, to board games like Monopoly, Uno, and Battleship, and now video games like Pong, Tetris, or Minecraft, Omnia is no different in the sense that it should be designed to be a fun experience. All of our pillars are here for very good reasons, but they are here to support the main pillar of fun. Living worlds, emergent storytelling, boundless exploration, and infinite possibilities, as well as immersive realism, should not overwrite fun. If any of these pillars should conflict with it, if any pillars should conflict, then it always comes back to the question, which pillar supports fun more? That is the design choice that you should ultimately follow. I guess I should kind of also mention, the reason I even wrote a game design document was to keep me on track, but also if something ever happened to me and the game was at a good enough state that somebody could build off of it, I wanted to make sure I left a nice guide so that they could continue off of it. So I left my inspirations here. I've left my gameplay loop. So the player loop is very open-ended. I've kind of left some of the movement on here. Let's see. Like, you unexpectedly died tomorrow. Yeah, the game design document is on. Like, not everybody could access it, but I would hope my family would have the common sense to open up my computer and go through my tabs and see which ones possibly matter. Like, if I died tonight and you guys know about this and you saw a message and saw it and you asked, could we have the game design document, I would hope my family would be able to find it for you, because it's pretty easy to find. It's not like it's hidden anywhere. I've got some key factions here, so I could read this to you guys. Earthkeepers. These guys just refused to leave their home planet, while many took to the stars to find a new home for themselves. The Earthkeepers believe that humanity belongs where they were born. Why take to the stars when there's still so much left to do on Earth? Sadly for them, this means they missed out on a lot on trade, but they mostly inherited the Earth. Industrial Corporation 1. Not all ethical, but filthy rich. Emphasis on filthy. The placeholder name is well known to suck planets dry of their resources, but it's hard to care when their products are so cheap. I mean, in this economy, I think we could do with a few less planets in the galaxy. Some of these I just don't have names for. The United Systems of America. Yeah, it's those guys again. With the second space race, the USA pushed the boundaries with space travel, and of course they said finders keepers. They're one of the largest factions in Omnia, but as with the United States in the 21st century, the big government doesn't do much, and local governments tend to matter more anyway. Pirates Guild. Honor among thieves, am I right? These guys pillage and steal from everyone else, and then share with one another. It's great for them because they're stronger together, but it's worse for the player because the pirates are stronger together. Independent colonies. To their credit, they did try with this name. Many people just wanted to go out and be on their own, no government to control them. However, with all the challenges of being independent, it often ends up requiring help from neighbors and friends. The independent colonies are more of an HOA and are more like if an HOA and NATO had a baby. When someone is in need, the independent colonies should be there, right? What else? I've got graphics, music. I've got some of my technological systems on here. Target performance. Constraints. Modding. Development roadmap. I'm gonna snooze the ads for a minute so I can finish talking about Omnia really quick. How many updates is a very good question. The answer is yes. As many updates as I can do. Essentially, I just want to make the game as good as possible, and that means adding a whole bunch of features until the game feels complete. It may never ever be complete, but I intend for there to be a lot of game development to it, you know?
Hello there.
Oop. Thank you for the follow, Midnight. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. The big one, honestly, is just, there's not going to be DLCs. I don't foresee there ever being a reason to do DLCs on the game. I don't want to make people pay for things when they could just have it, you know? Once the base game is made, a lot of the updates are actually going to be made from my modding tools. I'm going to build actual tools so that you guys can mod the game really easily. So, like a planet builder. And in that planet builder, you can build towns easily. And so you can build your own lore there. You can build your own NPCs. You can build your own character starters. And I want the game to be as user-friendly as possible. If you have a dream with Omnia, I want it to be... I want as few walls in the way. That's what I want. So how many updates? As many as it takes. And how big is the game? Infinitely. I've got some ideas. I've got a lot of ideas
Hello
here.
There.
Easy VZ, welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. Somalia. Yeah, Somalia. Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. I guess I should also say, if you guys have been hearing me yap about this and you're wanting to know more, check out Omnia. It's my game that I'm working on. Wow, it just posted like 4 times in the YouTube chat. I'm sorry. That was a lot. That was a ton. But there's a link to the Discord. You can check that if you like. I post development updates in there, and there'll be some more stuff coming out hopefully this week about the plan changes, because we were going to do a demo every quarter, but that's just not going to happen. Call me Salt. Okay, I'll try to remember that. I'll try. Reg, stop spamming chat. I will spam chat so much. It's gonna be a lot of spamming. And, I don't feel bad. Let's see, so what I'm kind of thinking right now is we're stuck. We're kind of a little trapped here on how much we've done. So I need to actually finish something. So I'm kind of thinking, what if we do... Or I have to cut out all of this. I don't know what I'm doing. There we go. Okay. Let's go ahead and cut out this as well. Reg, curious, over the short time I have been sharing some of my vocal journey, have you noticed improvement or has it been stagnant? I think it's been improving, but it also just helps that I can hear you a lot better now than before, you know? I think your confidence is growing as well, which helps. You know, if you're not confident, any second guessing of yourself would you know, it would lead to some shakiness in your voice or anything like that. And I think you're getting more confident, in my opinion, which is probably helping. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know what? Let's count how much is in between here. We'll figure out how we're gonna split it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Okay. Let's go 5 then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Okay, crap. Let's do that, just as it is. Okay. Omnia is an RPG, correct? Yes. Omnia is an RPG. How much do I want to talk about that? So when I say RPG, I don't just mean like it's standard run-of-the-mill roleplay game, you know. It has a lot of roleplay elements, but it's not just like a Bethesda game, you know. It's unique where it really matters, I guess. You know, everything that Omnia boils down to that makes it the most unique, in my opinion, is a lot of it is controlled vocally. This is where I lose a lot of people on it, because a lot of people haven't done it right. The eventual plan would be that there's going to be AIs powering the NPCs. And I don't just mean like, oh, I'm just gonna plug ChatGPT into it, because I don't think ChatGPT would be able to do what I need it to do. But this means that you can fight with your words as much as your weapons. You know, it's no longer just a, it's no longer just about, pressing the right button on your keyboard. It's about choosing the right things to say within your mind. And I think some people are scared of that because it does open the door for... A lot of people don't like AI at all. And I think that's fair. Should eat alphabet-y spaghetti and get all the other letters too. Ooh, yes. Alphabet soup. No, not in your country, fair enough. What was I saying? Right, Omnia. The other thing is, because like I said, this usually is where people turn off Omnia and they're like, yeah, I'm not getting it anymore. It's not going to a central server, so I'm not harvesting data. I'm not sending it to somebody else's company. It's all locally ran and optimized to your local machine. So it's not like it's not gonna harm your own computer if it all goes well. It should be normal wear and tear kind of stuff. I need more wood. Also, is this even looking good? Let's take a step back. I guess. It's not terrible. Because that'll add depth. That's the big thing, is we need depth. Otherwise it's very plain. And I'm gonna do some things underneath the retaining walls so that we'll have storage down here. I don't think I'm gonna put my actual storage system down here, but I'm thinking I'm gonna put, like, whatever the export of this town would be, which is probably some sort of stone or all the stones. That's what I kind of imagine. But, we'll see. We shall see. I'm sure Walmart would sell it. They sell everything, don't they? Pretty much, yeah. I would assume. I think Walmart would sell it. If they didn't, I'd be shocked. I'd be very, very shocked. Will there be choices that can change the environment? Yes. I was actually talking about that a couple days ago. On the Discord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right here. I was kind of thinking about it. I was like, man, something ain't right here. Hold on. No, I guess it's right. I think. Yeah. I was kind of talking about it, and I was like, wouldn't it be cool if you could, like, push a planet? Because the physics engine I'm building is Newtonian, and everything should have physics applied to it. So when you apply force to something, so long as it's a great enough force, you could theoretically push a planet, which could have catastrophic means for a lot of people, you know? Moving a planet doesn't just have no consequence. Not unless you're gonna push a sun and push them at the same speed so that it doesn't leave the habitable zone, you know? So you could just end entire civilizations of people, technically. You could push a planet into a whole fleet of ships to destroy them. You could... how do I want to handle this one? I'm kind of thinking we'll push this back to there. Okay. And then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here. You could do a lot of things, though. Building a super weapon meant for mass destruction, definitely on the cards. I want to allow people to make a Death Star. Star Wars was a huge inspiration for this game, and I intend for it to at least be somewhat visible within the actual implementation of the game. You know, it's not going to be able to... It's not going to be... in your face, you know. I'm not gonna be able to, like, make you be able to make lightsabers or anything, but you know, I can make that a moddable system. That's how I kind of am inclined to get around a lot of stuff, is you know, I may not have the capability to do it into my own sold product, but if a player wants it, they can mod it in pretty easily, and I'm not gonna stop them, because it's not like I'm adding that into the game. You know, that's the player's choice. If they want to break copyright law, that is technically breaking copyright law if they mod it in, but I'm not distributing it, so I'm fine. The word lightsaber is the only protected thing there. That is true, yeah. A laser sword is something I could add. I don't know how well it will fit necessarily, other than the fact that it is just really cool and it's sci-fi. So it could be in the game. I am debating adding it, honestly. But there's not gonna be like force powers. That's not quite in the realm that I'm working within for Omnia. But maybe I'll find a way to work it out. We'll see. Saber of Light, Light Sword, Plasma-based energy sword isn't protected.
Only the Nemesis system wasn't copyrighted. Yeah. I've got some ideas around that. It's not going to be exactly like the Nemesis system, but because of the NPCs being powered by AI, you can actually do some pretty cool things with that, where they will remember stuff. So they may not necessarily chase you down and be your rival, like in the Shadow of Mordor game. But, you know what, let's, do that right down the middle here. There we go. So they may not necessarily chase you down and, you know, remember that you killed them or you killed their brother or whatever, in the same exact way, but they'll have it stored within their memories, and they can kind of become your nemesis in a roundabout way without calling them your nemesis and without being a direct copycat nemesis system. Although by the time that this game comes out, the nemesis system may not be copyright protected anymore. It's a very real possibility. We'll see. I have to look at actually how the copyright is presented in there, because that was one of the coolest things that was ever made, was Nemesis system, and the fact that it is copyrighted just hurt. It hurts so bad.
Go there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right here. And then right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. Okay. Five is an honorary even number, exactly. I would grant it even number status. You know, it deserves it. I can't see a thing, and we're out of wood. So let me go down to the caves really quick. We'll go. Well, actually, let's go. Let's go home. We'll sleep really quick. Actually, hang on. I gotta think here. Let me finish digging this. Let's put all the items that I've got right now in the chest down here. And we'll go mine some trees up on the mountain where I'm gonna be doing my next build. There we go. Yeah, we'll roll with that. It's a lot of sparkles, it is. I'm kind of surprised it's not lagging due to the amount of particles, but I'll take it. Dinner time, chicken. Just possibly, maybe. Enjoy your dinner, though. Appreciate you popping in, Swiftu. Can I just kill everything that breeds an Omnia? Yup. You sure can. It would take a lot of time, but you could go world to world and commit mass genocide. You can raise up an army that follows you. You could become the emperor of the galaxy. You know, if somebody were to find a boundary in the game that I put in somewhere, the plan would be that I would find a way to remove that boundary so that they could do what they wanted to do. The game should not limit the player's ability. The whole boundary of the game is just how you choose to play it. You know, Minecraft, you can do just about anything. There's very few things I could say that you wouldn't be able to do in Minecraft. And the things that you can't do are probably things that you can't do for either technical reasons, because it's built in a very old programming language, or due to theming reasons, because, you know, it's just not feasible with the way they built Minecraft theme-wise. That doesn't mean it would never be possible. I mean, there's mods that let you go to space. So, you know, there are definitely limitations that just get straight up broken by mods, which is kind of nice as well. But I'm very inspired by Minecraft in that sense, where it's kind of like, I want the player to live in this world, and they choose how they interact with it. It doesn't tell you, you need to do this mission. You need to go say hello to these people. You need to follow this path. It just kind of puts you in the world and says, go. Go and do. And that's the hope, that hopefully it will all come off that way, so that people just go and do. I can't make people do it. And I know a lot of people want to be handheld, so there may be a version of the game that exists where you will have like a quest line by default, just to get people involved. But the vast majority of it is, you know, there is no preset path. It's just whatever you make of it. How do you like your coffee? I like my coffee with a little bit of cream and a lot of ice. I'm an iced coffee drinker. But I do like a warm coffee on occasion. I'm just a girl, Your Honor. I'm such a white girl. I really do love, as long as it's a little sweet. I can't drink it black. That's for sure. But if it's sweet, that's like, I could probably get it down. Personally, I like an espresso with some milk. That's fair. Espressos are pretty good. Had a couple of those in my time. I just make it here, so we don't have. I mean, we could probably make an espresso, but I feel like it would probably be a lot more effort than it's worth for the way I drink it and how quick I do. Okay. How much space did we clear out? I don't even know if this is where we're gonna build it. I may actually spread it out just a little bit more, but this kind of seemed like a good spot right here in this space. But I may even extend it out and have it go over here instead, so we'll see. There's like a weird glitch with smoke That's very interesting. Huh. You go to Starbucks weekly, don't you? No. I don't have the money for that. If I had like a... I actually don't even know what I would get at Starbucks, to be honest. I've not been in so long. It's just too expensive. If it weren't so expensive, I'd probably go. But I can make coffee at home so much cheaper. Violet Fox, welcome on in. How are you doing, Raiders? Hello, hello. Welcome on in. Catalina? Hello, hello. I know I'm saying your name wrong. If you want to correct me, that's a-okay. Whiskey Nico, welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Jams? Yes, we are having a raid. I feel like I've seen you before. I think you came in with Violet Fox on a raid last month at some point. Gaming for 10, hello, welcome in. We are just playing my Forever World today. We're just trying to figure out how to build this entrance here. So I've kind of tore up the whole hillside, and we've got a pretty good basic idea here. It's not terrible. It's not terrible. I think it could look a lot better, but we're experimenting. We caught a mending book a couple days ago, so I've got a really nice pickaxe now, and pretty exciting things, I would say. I like it when my coffee doesn't taste like coffee, so I'll just get a water. That's fair. Coffee's not for everybody. It helps me focus is what I'm finding. So I do drink a pretty decent amount of coffee. I try to limit myself to 1 cup a day. But sometimes I do like a 2nd cup. So, you know, I dabble in coffee. Gave them my bits last time. Yes, 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 you did. 10 bits, I believe. It may have been more than that. For some reason, I remember it being 10. Very much appreciated. Hello again, Violent Fox. That's crazy. Wait, we caught mending? Yes, yes, we did. We caught mending last stream, which would have been on Thursday, I guess. I don't know. I guess it would have been. It's been a little bit since I've been consistent, so I gotta think a little bit sometimes. Okay, let's do that. Okay. Raiders, I appreciate you all popping in. If any of you need to hop out, raid and run, do the post-stream things, please take care of yourselves. How was your stream, though, Violet? I appreciate it. Same goes to you as the Raiders. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for the bits. You did not need to do that, but I appreciate it. Thank you. I've got to decide what we're doing on this side. We could continue the path up this way, and that could be a pathway somewhere. Because at some point in time, there will be a path that goes out this way, and I'll just show you guys what's this way with Voxy. We went that way in search of a dark oak forest for a long, long time. There's a lot of villages out that way. I think there's a lot of mountains. Trying to think if there's anything else out that way that we would need. But it goes pretty far. So we'll need to go out that way at some point in time. I don't know. can't think of what I would want to build yet. So I'll wait on the pathway there. Okay. Boop, boop. Shroom is great. Did some chill building and explored a bit of a cave on Sunrise SMP. Awesome. Okay. Well, we love that. Voxy in the end looks surreal. Oh, dude, Voxy. Voxy has been one of the coolest mods of all time, I think, just because it's Bobby but better. And then being able to actually see where I'm going before actually getting there. Like, I'm hoping when Vulkan gets added to Minecraft, I'm really hoping I can actually just I can actually have vanilla render distance up that high, because it would be so great to be able to walk around and see like 64 chunks in all directions and have even a farther distance with these render distance mods. But you know, I don't suspect vanilla Minecraft will ever run of a render distance of what do I got on Foxy right now? 352. You know, I don't know about that. And, you know, right now I'm running 12 because the vanilla renderer just doesn't do justice. Yes, yeah, Thursday. Yes, Thursday. He made sure to wait till we were gone. Jams. Eat, sleep, drink, walk the woofer. Reg, did you see Asuma doing Raining Blood cover? Kind of forgot to mention that last stream. No. Let me add that to my tabs. That way I do it. And don't forget. Mute tab. That way it doesn't. Asuma Void. Raining Blood. There he is. Good old Ghostface. Okay. Boop. Alright, I've got that tabbed now. I should be able to see it. Okay. This. What do we do with this? We need to do something on this back wall. So I'm kind of thinking we'll do like a retaining wall then. Here. And then guess it goes up all the way for the back wall. That just makes the most sense. So it would go 1, 2, 4 right here, I guess. And then these need cut down because they're in the way. Ghostface with crazy, lengthy, strong guitar arms. Yeah. Asuma Void is ripped. Like, I remember the first time I saw, like, how big his arms were, and it threw me off, dude. Not somebody I would have, like, thought would have been as ripped as he is. He's shredded. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right here. Okay, and then from that side we go 5. Be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here. And because of how absurdly long this one is, we may also go 5 again. Yeah, I think we will. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So right here. I've already got that cleared out. Good, good, good. Who's your favorite hermit? That's a tough one. That's a really tough one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right here. Mumbo Jumbo or Grian are definitely up there. Scar as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know that's like a very basic answer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's go ahead and cut those out. That's fine. Both of them are, or all three of them are definitely high up there. I've got fond memories. I remember Wells Knight used to be one of my favorites. I don't know if he still makes content a lot anymore, but he used to. And then I know he took a long break, and then he started up again, and I think he's still doing it now. He's building a really cool castle, last I heard. Wells Knight was one of my favorites, though. And then Asuma, of course. Love Asuma. I don't know. It's hard to pick one. It's really hard to pick just one. How often do you listen to music, by the way? Wondering if you made it through any of last month's recommendations. Must have been a crazy list. Oh my goodness. Last month's list was wild. I've made it through a little bit. I think I am currently, let's see, we were at like 560 something maybe? Was it 200? I don't remember. Yeah. New to me. 266. That's what we're at right now. I've cleared out about 10 of them. It is a wild playlist. Let me just say that. I've got things like, I've got Papa Roach on here. I've got System of a Down. Agnes Obel. I don't know. Middle Class Rut. Clementine. Maximum the Hormone. Bad Flower Sunfish. CRX. More System of a Down. Linkin Park. New West. Avid MC. Godsmack. Olivia Rodrigo is on here, believe it or not. The Fray. What else do we got? NF is on here. Louis Armstrong. Goo Goo Dolls. Paramore. There's a lot of songs on here, guys. There are so many. And you guys have added a lot of these. You have added a ton of them, actually. Stick Season was one I hadn't heard. That one got added by Ellently a long time ago. I got some Jonas Brothers. Firm Handshake. Gray Days. I was looking into Chester Bennington stuff, and that came up. Alec Benjamin. And Lana Del Rey. She's on here, believe it or not. Breaking Benjamin. Coldplay. Caesar. Journey. Creed. More Linkin Park. Eminem. Avril Lavigne. Green Day. And Taylor Swift. 3 Days Grace. 1,000 Foot Crutch. Electric Light Orchestra. And the rest are just kind of obscure. Amber Run. Disciple. More Coldplay. Metallica. And 12 Stones. Yeah. There's a lot on here. I need to clear it up a little bit more. You guys added so much. I'm so far behind on the list, but it's been fun. It's been fun going through because I get to learn so many new stuff from you guys. You know, there's a lot of things I didn't know about. A lot of songs that I had never heard. And even if it's not necessarily my cup of tea, it's kind of cool being able to learn it. Sometimes I even do find stuff that I like, or I find stuff that I don't like, but it leads me to something that I might like later on, you know? finding a style, but maybe not the right, maybe not the right singer, or finding, the right singer, but a different style. You know, sometimes you go, okay, I don't really care for this one, but they have an album that has, like, absolute banger tracks that I do like, and that's always fun, too. But I listen to music just about every day. That specific playlist is my most played playlist because I keep telling myself I'll actually sit down one of these days and clear out like 50 songs. But I've been trying to get it down to like only 100. And I have failed miserably on that. Decked Out 3 looks crazy as ever. I need to check it out. I haven't watched Hermitcraft in a long time. It makes me sad because I do like Hermitcraft. Every time I watch a video, it makes me smile. I just don't get to watch them as much anymore because I have to tell myself not to. Otherwise, I will sit there and waste my entire day. I say waste. It's a good use of time. Hermitcraft is a very good use of time. But I also have other obligations and things that I should do, and if I'm not careful, when I do click onto YouTube, I do not get off of YouTube until it's way too late. And I gotta be careful about that. Did you ever get a chance to listen to a Slayer song finally? I don't think I did. I'll need to... well, I'll listen to Suma Void. And then once I listen to that one, I'll probably add some to the list. I know he just plays the guitar, but it'll at least get me in the mindset so I'll remember, hey, listen to some Slayer. I've heard given up too much. You said waste, and the verse with lay to waste was all I heard for the last 10 seconds. Oh my goodness. Linkin Park is a banger, you know. I think it's a good thing that it's seared into your mind. Anytime I hear somebody mention being lonely, though, I do hear, what is it? I am a little bit of loneliness, a little bit of disregard, a handful of complaints, but I can't help the fact that everybody can see these scars. I am what I want you to want, but I never had a doubt. Like, no matter what I do, I can't seem to convince you just for once to hear me out, so I let go, watching you turn your back like you always do, face away and pretend I'm not. I'll be here to see all that I got. That's what I hear whenever somebody says, I'm lonely. That's what I hear. You like Hollow Knight? Yes, I love Hollow Knight. I've never played Silksong, but I did play the first game. I played it all the way through, got 112% every single achievement, beat Pantheon 5. Very, 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 very good game. In fact, I'll tell you how many hours I have in it. I haven't played it recently. I haven't replayed it. You know, I played it the one time, got through every achievement, beat P5, and called it a day. I do want to go back and play it again at some point, but I'll get there when I get there. I have almost 200 hours, 192. So, I like it. I beat P5 with all bindings. Oh my gosh, dude. I could never. The bindings were the worst part about the Pantheons. I just could not get myself to do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right here. It should be seared in my mind, given what I do. That's true. In the end, that's another one. So many good ones. Do that. I haven't decided if I like that yet. I gotta do this side as well. But I'm also just gonna mow down the ground for the most part, so... I hear back on Mr. Lonely when someone says it. That's fair. Mr. Lonely's a good one. I like that song. Then I did P5 blindfolded. Why? Why would you do that to yourself? That's awful. That is terrible. You need help. Wow. That's awful. I'm sorry. That's just terrible. Going to just like cut it down to this level pretty much. At least for the pathway. Because it just makes the most sense, I think. A bet I got $100 for that. 1,000, excuse me? Holy cow. I mean, I guess for 1,000 I would consider trying to do it. That's fair. Did I drink my coffee? I did. I'm hungry. Dude, I don't know what just happened, but I am hungry. Okay. We need to do this side as well. Okay. Well, let's fix... What? How did you get... Okay. Oop. Let's, come back then. Right, thanks. Now that's gonna be on my mind all night. Oh, no. The problem with retaining walls. This is the never-ending issue that I have with them. I don't know where to stop. Because I could just keep building them. They're really, really hard to decide when you need to stop on them. We'll figure it out. It's fine. It's a problem for future me. Doo-doo. I'm gonna have to do this wall right here. I think we'll probably just stop right about here when you do the entrance, because that would be the entrance right here, and then that would be a good cutoff, yeah. Okay. In that case, put that in there. This is in here. Okay. This actually looks kind of good. I don't know what I did, but I did. I'm cooking, guys. Hang on. Hang on. It's a great song. It is. I actually have a song in my head right now that I kind of want to make a cover of at some point. It's by 21 Pilots, which they've started to grow on me more and more and more. The more I listen to them, the more I'm like, oh, that's a good one. That's also a good one. That's also a good one. And, you know, it's just the metamorphosis. I'm slowly becoming more and more of a white girl. The consistency of my personality is just morphing. Um, that all said, oh, what was it called? It's, Craving, The Craving. That's what it's called, I think. And I think, I don't know that I could ace it, but it's such a pretty song that I think I could try at some point, and it might turn out okay. I don't know if it would go well. I don't know. But it's one of my favorite songs that they've done that I could actually probably do. Okay, I do want to snooze the ads because I'm not expecting to go a ton longer here. So let me. I'm gonna snooze them. Cute. It's a good song. It's a really, really good song. There. Snooze. Okay. There's a lot of songs I want to do covers of, though. I need to make a list at some point, and maybe I'll show it to you guys and see what you guys want to hear, and then we'll actually do one or two. I know there's a couple of songs I've done on stream that have gone pretty okay as well, so those would also be on the list, of course. I actually did the blindfolded run 2 months ago, and I used a new sock from Christmas as blindfold. That is awesome. That is actually awesome. Real question, Hybrid Theory versus Meteora, which is the better one in your opinion? Let me pull up the track list so I can give you my educated opinion here. Well, you know what? Let me pull up my Linkin Park list. I like both of them, just before we say anything. But which one do I like best? So we got 1, 2... three. I've got 3 Meteora songs on here. Why do I not have more? Probably because I forgot to put the rest of them on here. I've got a lot of Minutes to Midnight, actually. Hybrid Theory, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hybrid Theory has a lot of bangers. It's hard to pick. I mean, so we got Paper Cut, One Step Closer, With You, Points of Authority, Crawling, Runaway, By Myself, In the End, Place for My Head Forgotten, Cure for the Itch, Pushing Me Away, My December, High Voltage, and then Paper Cut Live at the C1 for the bonus edition. Which is the one I happen to click on here. I mean, based on that alone, Hybrid Theory is really, really good. But let's not forget, Meteora does have a lot of good ones as well. Lying From You, Somewhere I Belong, Faint, Figure 9, Breaking the Habit, Numb. That's a really hard one to pick. I don't know. I mean, I would say probably Meteora, because I find myself, I find it easier to play along with those ones. I find it easier to sing along with those ones. It's a more refined style, in my opinion. But they're very good in their own right. My guy has the entire album on there. I mean, I literally have all of From Zero on this list. I've got almost all of Minutes to Midnight. I've got a decent amount of... I actually put a lot of Amends by Grey Days on here, and Out of the Ashes by Dead by Sunrise on here. I have a hard time. I have a really hard time picking just one or two. I don't know. Linkin Park just has so many good stuff. How do you cut your sandwiches? Rectangle or triangle? I actually don't usually cut them. But if I do, usually I do triangle. Everyone gets a sock at Christmas. Jams gets a sock at Christmas. Socks at Christmas, I won't lie, kind of one of the better gifts I get. I asked just for warm clothing this year for Christmas. Well, that's not the only thing I asked for, but it was one of the bigger things I asked for. I didn't get any socks, but I did get a pretty nice jacket that has like really big pockets. Man. One of the best gifts I've ever had. I'm telling you, dude. Fairs for me, Hybrid Theory feels more balanced to me than Meteora. In terms of each individual song, Meteora feels more musically in tuned. That's fair. Yeah. I could get that. I could definitely agree with that at that point of view. There's not like any Linkin Park songs I think I don't like, to be honest. Which makes it really hard to pick an album. Which is such a cop-out. I recognize that. Bears from... I read that. Don't have butter either. Get 2 pieces of bread, throw some meat in, and away you go. Quick and easy. I don't usually butter my sandwich unless I'm doing like a grilled cheese, but I feel like you have to for grilled cheese. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not balanced. What's wrong? Uh-oh. Just cut this out. That's how I fix this. Anyone here cook? I make a broccoli steak stir fry every Thursday. Ooh. I don't usually cook. It's something I want to learn at some point in time. I feel like I've said this a couple of times on stream. My plan, the second I meet somebody who deserves to spend the rest of their life with me, take that as a punishment or a or not, you know, that's up to you. I would argue it's a punishment more than a reward to spend the rest of your life with me. But the second I find somebody that I can do that with, I want to learn like a lot of different things that they like, meals that they would eat, and learn how to cook them. so that when we eventually get married, you know, I can take care of meals some of the days. But I want to wait until I know what they like, because I'm not gonna learn to make 5 things and then them not like any of it, you know? I'm a patient man, but I'm not gonna learn things that I'm never gonna use again. I'm very, very calculated on this one. I will say hunting party is a close third for me. I tend to make soups, stews, stir fries, sandwiches, and burritos. Depends on what I'm feeling or what I meal planned. That's fair. Meal planning is very important. I need to get around to doing that at some point. Well, I should get around to doing that when I'm actually in charge of cooking. My parents do all the cooking for us here, which is good. I don't complain. I like my parents cooking. They cook the best stuff, dude. Nothing will beat mom and dad's cooking. So I get it when I can. Okay, so I think this needs to be pushed back. To probably, I guess, right about here. I think. I don't know. I have to go. Goodbye. See ya, Coral. Thanks for popping in. I appreciate it. Get some rest. Get some stuff done. Whatever you gotta do. And we'll catch you another time. I just forgot. We snoozed those ads. I don't know when that happened. You guys are probably gonna get ads again soon. I'm sorry. So this can actually come back to here now. Ads are in about 4 minutes. Okay, I got you. Thanks, Admiral. Yes, mine all the things. Hello, Hangout. Welcome on in. Do you like the Hunting Party album? Let me see what's on that, because I could not tell you. I think I do. Final Masquerade. I do remember that one. That one slaps. I haven't listened to these songs in forever. Until It's Gone, Rebellion, War, Guilty all the same. I need to go back through and listen to it. I need to go through and just listen to the entire discography, because they've got so many good stuff. I don't know it all yet. Yet is the proper response there. I have 7 songs on my playlist. Okay. So it's got some bangers then, is what I'm hearing. I grow coffee beans in my garden, so I don't have to buy them. That is awesome. That is really, really cool. I think it would be fun to grow a garden. I remember when I was a kid, we had a garden, and we would grow cucumbers and tomatoes, and we tried to grow strawberries once. That didn't go well. That left a lot to be desired. Oh boy, that was something else. What else did we try to grow? We grew... For some reason I want to say we grew squash at one point. And those actually turned out okay. I don't know. There's a lot of things I want to try, I think. Especially when I have land to do it. I think it would be a lot of fun. I also grow mint, so I can make homemade peppermints. That is amazing, dude. What the heck? So right there. But what I'm gonna do is actually do this, because it matches up better. Because there's 2 there and 2 there. So on this side, it'll be 1 here. And then right here, it would be right there. I'm just gonna scoot that in 1 then. Like that. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, perfect. Okay. Let's build this. King breaks the wall, then immediately rebuilds said wall. Yeah, I'm good at that. I'm indecisive. Gotta make sure the wall is walling properly. Exactly. What's the mission today? We are building the entrance to this build. So I'm building a whole bunch of retaining walls and stairs until this is all kind of built. And then I gotta do some retaining wall stuff here as well, because it's not... I mean, it's built to retain. It's just, it's not retaining anything, so it looks kind of goofy. So I think the wall will go back into the mountain here, and then we'll flatten out some of the terrain as well. But yeah, it just kind of guards the entrance here to the build, and it looks pretty good, I think. Looks pretty sweet. Thank you. Rate Hollow Knight's OST out of 10. 9.9. Actually, you know what? No, I take that back. Christopher Larkin did an amazing job on that one. It might be a 10 out of 10. It goes up there. It's a really, really good soundtrack. Very beautiful. Very well done. Like, if I had the opportunity to get Christopher to work on a track for my video game, I would do it in a heartbeat. I'm sure it's very, very expensive, though, so we'll just keep holding our breath on that one. Okay, break that. Do I want to extend that up? I don't think so. I think I'm gonna wait. So here, we need a fish. Boop. All right. Drop back down to here. Okay. One by one, just kind of raise it all up. There's a lot more of a chunk here that I gotta take out, which is gonna be a little bit of a pain, but it'll look okay, I think, once it's done. And then this will probably be where we'll wrap things up after we get this wall built, because I do still have a video to make, and I still have... well, I'm hungry. That's the other thing. I'm just hungry. Up. Also, all this andesite is gonna go to a good cause, which is nice. It's an excellent wall. Thank you. I do my best. I do my best. It's looking like a wall, which is, I guess, the point. You know, if it looks the part, then that's all that matters, I think. Probably the greatest wall ever built. You know it? It's a very nice wall. Very nice. Very nice. Quite frankly, I think everybody knows it's a good wall. Greg, you should check your Discord when you get a moment. Sent you a pic I think you'll find interesting. Okay, I will check that here in a couple minutes. Oop. We are dropping things on the floor. Let's clean the inventory a little bit here. Well, that didn't work out, did it? Okay, let's put those in here. All right. I didn't have to claim the voice changer anymore. No, you're too powerful, dude. You're too powerful. You just, your words commanded such authority. Break that. And those. Okay. Okay. What'd you send me? Oh. Oh, yeah, I know about the, flipping thank you hangout. Yeah, it's been a ongoing problem. We haven't been able to determine if it's OBS or if it's the, Yeah, I can agree with that, Rift. I can agree. Oh, new divide, my beloved. But yeah, we haven't been able to decide what's causing the flickering. It may just be the camera itself, causing issues. In which case, I just gotta buy a new camera. Thankfully, there's some really good ones out there that aren't like super high dollar. I just gotta budget for it and we'll be good. Rate Hollow Knight's OST out of 10. I'd say it's probably a 10, honestly. I haven't heard the Silk Song soundtrack, but I can confirm the first game had a wonderful soundtrack. Everywhere just hits the right sound. The theming is all there. It's perfect. Well, you're already aware it sucks when technology doesn't work like it should. Yeah, it is what it is. You know, what can you do? I've had this one for a long time at least, so I've gotten my money's worth out of it. Or, I guess this one was a gift from my parents, I think. So, I guess I got their money's worth out of it. You know, it does a good job. Or it did a good job anyway. I need to go back up in order to drop back down. Share stream. My computer randomly blue screened, randomly blue screens, and it's always a different code. What? Aw, that's unfortunate. Welcome on in, Raiders. Free Will, hello, hello. How was your stream today? Were you guys playing? What were you guys up to? Maybe some Vault Hunters, or perhaps some SMP content? What were you guys doing? How much longer is stream going for now? That's a good question. I don't know. It just depends on how much I yap. Probably for a little while longer though. We've got a little bit more digging to do anyway, so I'm gonna head out. See ya, Jams. Thanks for popping in. I appreciate it. Hope you have a good rest of your night. Thank you, thank you. Just finished some Vault Hunters. Nice. Why did I jump down? I needed to do more. It's whatever. Do I have a... I do. There we go. That's awesome though. Vault Hunters. Love to see it. We're just building in My Forever World today. And currently we're working on some retaining walls, so that we have a build that looks pretty good, I guess. I don't know really what else we would build it for. But it's coming along pretty good. It's getting too dark, so I'll swap over to no shaders. It's very, very plain looking right now, so I'm going to have to do some work to it later to kind of help frame it a little bit better. But so far, so good. I'm thinking along the tops we'll actually do, like, we might do a different color slab just so that it caps off a little bit better. Because right now it's a little plain looking is all. But it's not terrible. It kind of fits the look at least. Kind of helps finish off this area a little bit better. Because right now that's been the ongoing issue, is trying to finish it. So I'm happy with it so far. Free Will, if you need to hop out, raid and run, do any of the post-stream things. Same thing with your chat. If any of you guys need to hop out, please do. Take care of yourselves. But I'll be hanging around for a little while longer, so we'll take you if you want to stay. But if you need to go, we understand. Feel like we're gonna get to that accidental 24-hour stream with that response. Nah, I would never. Although that Stardew stream kind of went a little longer, didn't it? No chance, been waiting on that 12-hour stream for 6 to 7 months. 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7. Crazy. I just forgotten the Pregnog. It's impossible to forget Pregnog. You can't. It's just not possible. What is that emote? That is amazing, Nikita. There we go. Okay, we need to clean up this a little bit. So like that, I guess. Okay. We're up at dirt now, which is good. Reg the song, that chain of songs live performance in my playlist before getting to bleed it out, give it up, and faint, then QWERTY and hunting party. Okay. That is a good build up right there. That's one of my favorite things to do with music is set it up in a way where you can really enjoy it, like optimally. You know, it's you can enjoy music without the build up, but at the same time, it's really fun to just listen to it and have like a little bit of a roller coaster, a storyline of sorts. It's a lot of fun. That's partially why I really liked the Welcome to the Black Parade album by My Chemical Romance. Every song was made to flow into each other. It all tells a story. It comes together to tell a very colorful story. I think that's an appropriate word for it. But there's a lot of songs on there that I like by themselves. It's just when you listen to it all on one sitting, uninterrupted, it's a little different, which is nice. Alright, poop. Okay, I don't have more wood, so we need to get some quick. Ow. Okay. I don't have enough still, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna come over here. We're gonna drop anything that I can, which is nothing. And we're gonna put what I can in here. Okay, let's go take the cobblestone over here. There we go. Alright, I need spruce. So let's go back up the mountainside and dig up some stuff. But Uncle Admiral, where that chain is from 0 Meteor on Hybrid. I like it. I like it, because I think From Zero is such a beautifully self-contained album. But I also do find that it works well with other songs as well. It plays nice. That's one of those albums that I will never skip. There's not a single song on there that I think I would skip. Outside of From Zero, the intro itself, I don't need that one. But it's such a good album. We all know what King's favorite song is, or at least what it should be. I have a feeling I know which one you're talking about. Hello, Ellen Lee. Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for submitting your taxes. It's good to see you today. All right. Cut down just 2 more trees and we should have enough. Never going to give up on this wall or let it down. Nope. I'm gonna refrain. I'm not gonna feed it. I'm not gonna feed it. How are we doing today? We're doing pretty good. We're just building today. Working on our Forever World build. And just trying to get it all kind of capped off here, so I don't build endlessly. You know, don't get me wrong, I love this build, but I don't need it sprawling out thousands and thousands of blocks. We're past that stage in my life. It's an art form. Rickrolling really is an art form. Anytime I get a DM from you on TikTok, I usually just assume it's a Rickroll of some sort now. And I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. I actually really do enjoy it. Okay, what we need to do is we need to mow this down a little bit. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm just gonna make another shovel. We've burned through so many of these. Not even funny, but we do need it. Okay. Trying to think as well, we might do... Like if we cut down this entire layer, we'll drop this down one as well, which would be nice. And make the path a little bit more flat, which is good. So I think that's what we'll do. My Twitch messed up there for a second. Last thing I heard was that whenever you get a DM from me, you assume it's a Rickroll, and for that, I'm proud. I'm glad. You're good. I didn't say a whole lot outside of that, so you didn't miss anything. You helped create that monster, so you only have yourself to blame. This is true. I used to rickroll a ton. It was a good pastime. Oh man. Your poor sister, dude. I rickrolled her a ton. Your youngest sister, just to clarify that. Although I think I rickrolled a couple of them. But, you know. It was all part of my daily agenda, honestly. I'd wake up, I'd get my school wrapped up, I'd go to work, and while I was at work, during my downtime, I would just come up with new rickrolls. Like, it was my hobby, I guess. It was a good hobby. It was a really good hobby, honestly, now I'm thinking about it, like... Something about creativity in the younger generation or something like that, you know? You had a rickroll addiction. You guys literally chose a rickroll to play in an Applebee's that one time. Pretty sure that's on the internet somewhere. It is, yes. I forgot about that. The jukebox is, it's a solid invention just because nobody expects a rickroll when there's a jukebox. But, like, it's the most easy opportunity for a rickroll. Like, of course there's gonna be a rickroll when there's a jukebox. But nobody expects it. It's just so unexpected, I guess. It's lures you into a false sense of security. It's like, it would be the obvious choice, but nobody would actually do it, right? And then you just step back and watch the chaos go. And you meant, like, it's the only thing you do. We all have our hobbies. I stand by it. I wonder if he claims DMCA stuff from it. I don't know. He'd be missing out on a lot of money if he didn't. Oh, man. You can make that the permanent soundtrack to your streams. Oh, jeez. I remember one stream we did. Probably like 4.5 years ago now. It was like one of my early streams. Before I had even done 100 of them. Somebody had asked me to play Crab Rave. But they kept asking me to restart it because they said they weren't here for the beginning of it. And so we listened to Crab Rave for like... It may have been like 45 minutes. Just Crab Rave. And I don't necessarily regret it. It was very excessive. It was obnoxious. But... it was funny. Or at least it was pretty funny in my opinion. Boop. 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 45 minutes of Crab Rave sounds like a blast. It was certainly something. I don't regret it. Like I said, it was a good time. I'm sure people got really concerned for me during it. Oh, it was... I know it got copyrighted on YouTube, which is not at all surprising. That is the least surprising part of it. Excessive and obnoxious are your middle names, right? Yep. Right there next to Danger and... Oh. It's all there. I have a lot of middle names. Danger is not actually one of them, though. That... Although well, I've done a lot of stupid things. I sort of remember that. Yeah, you would have been around for it, probably. It was back when we had Marie and Fryboy and Lunar Prince, and I think Frost was there for that one as well. There's a whole lot of people on that one. Some of it was just about driving people nuts as well. That was the other part of it. Like, I seem to remember Unreal was like really starting to lose his mind, which just made me want to do it more. That is coarse dirt. We need that. And right here. And then you as well. I'm just moving it all down one by one, but it's fine. Okay. How is that? Is that better? Not bad. Not bad. Dude, dab, thank for the dab. Like rage baiting? Oh. Really? I don't see you doing that at all. King would never rage bait anyone. No, no. Me rage bait? What's rage bait? I don't know what that is. Bullying Unreal was fun. Oh, it was so fun. I miss bullying Unreal. Reg, how do you rate my Linkin Park song flowchart order I sent a bit ago? I agree with it. I would say probably 9 out of 10. Just because I don't have all the numbers in front of me. I don't have all the songs that I would put there. So I can't say I agree with it 100% until I know that. But the vast majority of the choices I do agree with. I may shuffle things around just a tiny bit. I'm so hungry. Okay. This is kind of ugly. But we're gonna fix it another time. We'll do like a little bit of a gradient maybe. It'll be my first time messing with it. We're also gonna do something down here at the bottom. Although there's not a lot of room between here and the wall, so never mind. We can't do it there. But we can do something underneath this section. So we'll do like a little thing here. And maybe even here as well. So that way you can kind of get under here and there'd be like I guess, a storage room of some sort. Here we could probably do some sort of pattern of some sort. I don't know. We could also do something here as well to break it up. But we just need to come up with some ideas on how to break up the cobblestone texture, because it's very repetitive, it's very bright. But it's not terrible. It's the same thing that we actually have down here. And we're gonna be using it a lot, probably. I don't know. And you go back and watch the video where I think a different former quizzer killed your doge and you went unhinged on him. Oh. I've had some people kill my dog. I've had some people kill my parrot. Oh man, yeah, the parrot one. I even made a shirt about the parrot. That one was bad. Man, that was a long time ago. I actually went back and watched an old video of mine earlier today. Because it gets a lot of views, and I don't know why. It's a really bad video. I made it purely because it was such a meme. And people are watching it, like legitimately watching it, almost all the way through. But it was about how to craft. And people are clicking on it from Google. Like, they're searching how to craft. And they're watching this video all the way through. And it's such a bad video. But I ended up watching it. Man, the nostalgia of that. It's like, if you don't know how to open up your inventory, I can make up a separate video for that if you want. But for now, I'm just going to assume you know how to open your inventory. Like, I was going to make a whole dedicated video if somebody asked me on how to open your inventory in Minecraft. I was so unserious back then. It was awesome. Okay. We'll let that be for now. We'll let that be. We've actually made a lot of progress today. I appreciate you all for sticking with me through it. We're gonna wrap it up here though. I am hungry. Eat on stream, mukbang stream, and everyone redeems the chair. Yeah, there we go. I'm assuming you know how to left click. I mean, I'm just assuming. You know, there's a lot of assumptions in that video. That might get me back into Minecraft. I stopped playing when I couldn't figure out how to open my inventory. I know, it's a really frustrating experience, not knowing how to open your inventory. So I understand that maybe some people need the help. Thanks for streaming. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys. Can't do it without y'all. Let's see. Who's live right now that we want to say hello to? We haven't said hello to Oscar in a while. Oscar Diggs. He's currently building, the Great Hall for Redeems. This guy's building, like, the whole, Wizard of Oz world. Like, it's kind of crazy. And he's doing it in survival. So, that's pretty cool if you ask me. He's got some sick dad jokes, and I think he's a fun person to hang around. So I encourage you guys to hop in the raid, get some free channel points, meet a cool streamer along the way. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.
you.